Welcome, Agent Student, to Bill Whitty's distance learning version of Math 110, Survey of College Math. This is a video web type of class. Your mission, should you decide to accept it, is to watch a series of videos available at this site. After each one, you'll be given an online homework assignment, and intermittently you'll be taking various tests at the Rockville Assessment Center. Well, let's get to it and talk about the specifics. Okay?
Now you listen to me. I want details, and
I know you're going to want to know exactly what you're graded on, so let's get to that. You will have homework assignments after you watch each video. Now, I do expect you to watch each video. And that's going to be worth a significant amount of your grade. As you can see, it's 22% of your grade. Okay, so you almost can't pass without doing the homework. Then there's going to be 5 tests that you have to actually go to the assessment center and take, and one final exam that you have to go to the assessment center and take, and that is cumulative. It's going to cover the whole semester. Now, you'll like that because it'll have the easier things at the beginning as well. Okay, of course, that adds up to 100%. Okay, so there's where your grade comes from.
Oh, good grief.
Let's talk about tests while we're going through this. The tests are very much like, I have assignments in there that look like homework, but they're called practice tests, and they're previous to each test that you take. Right before you take each real test, I'll give you a practice test. And basically the real tests are almost the same thing as the practice tests. Okay, so if there's something you can't do on a practice test, don't think you're all of a sudden going to be able to do it on the real test. Now, your grade on these practice tests does not count in your final homework grade. But you'd be crazy not to do it. And you can do them as often or as many times as you so choose. So by all means, make sure you do them, and make sure you ask any questions so that you know how to do them. Okay? All real tests are taken in the Rockville Assessment Center on the Rockville campus. Okay? If you don't know where that is, well, I'm telling you, it's in room 14 of the Student Center building, right in the center of campus. Okay? Now, you need to know that they're open just about every day except Sundays at this point. And they're open in the evenings, but they close early on Fridays. Okay, so be aware of that. They close, I think, at 2:30 on Fridays. They're even open on some Saturdays. Okay, and that's going to be quite convenient for most of you. But you should call before you go. They're open about every other Saturday, and it's kind of intermittent. So at this point, so definitely call before you go. I wouldn't want you to waste a trip. Okay. Now, these tests are going to be taken on your time at your convenience, okay? But you still have to take them, okay? Any test you don't take is a 0, so make sure you get in there and take them promptly. We will be using, and I will be instructing you on the TI-83. You'll need to have one, and it's the only one they'll let you use on the test. So make sure you have one for the homework, and even with you when you watch every video. That's a TI-83 anything, whether it's a TI-83 Plus, TI-83 Barbie model, or whatever. But you have to have a TI-83. We're not going to let you use a TI-89 or 84 or 82. Now, if you need help, by all means, you paid for me. So the first thing I would do is email me. And, of course, my email is bill.whitty@montgomerycollege.edu. Easy to remember. Hard to type, but easy to remember. I ask you a couple things when you email me, though. Please sign your name. Okay, I get emails from the Velvet Bear or Cutie629 or something. Okay, tell me which class you're in and what your name is, because I do teach several classes.
Next.
And don't send me any thank you emails. You paid for me. You don't have to thank me. I get a lot of emails every day. I really wish you wouldn't send thank yous, okay? Appreciate that. My phone number at home is 301-989-1010. 1432. I do go out of town a lot though, so I'm much better at email. If you feel the need to call though, please make sure you call before 8:30 p.m. That's when I go to bed. I get up early, and so I go to bed early, and my wife will answer the phone after that, and I don't know if you want to talk to her after 8:30. Okay? I'm guessing you already found the web page, which is, once again, easy to remember but hard to type. www.montgomerycollege.edu/survey of college math. Anyway, that's going to be of great use to you. If you lose your syllabus, you can get the syllabus there. Of course, you can view the orientation again. And all of the class videos, and I do expect you to watch every show, are at this site, and only at this site. Now, if you don't watch a video, it's as if you skipped a class. And what should happen to a student that skips a class? Consider that.
Hey, Doc, wait. I want to ask you something.
I thought you might want to know about the homework, and that's a good thing. Before I show you how to get set up in MyMathlab, let me show you what it can do, this homework software. And I'm betting you're going to see why I wanted you to use it. Okay, I'm going to log in as if I'm a student, and I'll be typical student. And I'll put in my password. I'm not going to tell you what that is, of course. Okay, and that'll get me to my course says, or course. In this case, I'm only in one course, and there it is. Okay, and I'm going to click on that course, and I'm going to go right to homework and tests. And it gives me a list of all the homeworks. Actually, right now it's only giving me a list of the homeworks. There may be tests and quizzes in there as well. So I'm going to click on Show All. And I see there's a test in here. But anyway, I'm going to try and do a homework. And I would likely do them in order. I'm going to skip to one, though, just to show you something. I'm going to skip to simplifying equations, say, and here are all the questions that I expect you to do, and I have personally selected every one of these questions, and I expect you to do them all. And if you don't do one, you've missed something in the course. Now you're going to get an infinite number of tries to do every question. Let me try question 1, and the screen's always going to look basically like this, a giant blue screen with a question and a place to type in the answer. Now if there's something I can't type in with a normal keyboard, those symbols will be over in this area here. Okay? Up here is a way that I might jump to another question. Okay? As soon as I finish this one, of course. Now, once I've typed in an answer, I'll click on Check Answer, and hopefully it'll be right. It'll tell me whether I'm right or wrong right away. And it'll give me 3 chances to get it right, and after that it'll think you're playing with it, and you're going to have to try again. But it'll keep giving you, you have to put similar question, and it'll give you a question just like that, and it'll keep giving you chances, an infinite number of chances to get it right. And if you don't know how to do it, then you either need to rewatch the video or get help with this side of the screen. There are various helps, and you can try all of them. I would point out that if you click My Instructor, Ask My Instructor, it will automatically send me to my email a copy of this question. So you won't need to copy the question. You just need to type into your email what you don't understand about the question. Don't just email me and go, huh. Okay, go, Mr. Woody, I don't understand blabbity blah about this or whatever. Okay, and then I'll reply to that, your question, and hopefully you'll be able to do it. But note, since you do get an infinite number of tries at all these homeworks, I expect you to do them all, okay? And then you'll be missing stuff if you don't do them all, okay? I want to take you through enrolling in this new homework software, MyMathlab. What you're going to do first is go to the webpage www.coursecompass.com, and the first thing you as a student will do logically is click under Students on Register. Now that will take you to a screen that looks like this, that basically is a warning probably to get out, if you would, until you have 3 things. Make sure you have an email address. You can't take this course if you don't have some sort of email. And then you'll need 2 codes, 2 numbers if you would. One of them is a course ID that you'll get basically from me. You'll have to email me before coming in. Okay, and what's going to happen is I'm going to verify that the school's happy with your enrollment, that you're actually in my course, and then I'm going to reply to that email and give you my course ID, which will allow you to come back here and get into my specific course. The other thing, you need to make the MyMathlab people happy, because you have to pay for this software. So you'll have to get a student access card either by purchasing it online. You can do that right there by clicking Purchase Online, or you can go to any Montgomery College bookstore and purchase MyMathlab. Now make sure it's MyMathlab, not Math Excel. I don't want you to be confused. Okay, MyMathlab. And basically all you'll get from them is a code. It's going to be a little piece of paper basically, and it's a code, and you'll come back with that and the code you got from me. Okay, and if we get back to this screen and click on Next, it'll bring us to your standard license agreement, which I'm sure you all will read and memorize. No, you won't. And click on Accept.
Next.
And we'll move right through. The next thing, once it has that and you've accepted it, it's going to ask you for that code that you paid for. Okay, you either paid for it online or you got it from the bookstore, and you'll type. It's long. Okay, you'll type it in right here. Okay, and once you've typed it in, it'll ask you, as you can see, for the school's zip code, which by the way is 20876. That's 20876. Okay, and then it'll ask you for the country, which of course is United States here.
Next.
Clicking on Next will get me to this screen, which it asked me for that last piece of information, and that is that course ID number, which, remember where you got that. You're going to put it in here. You got it from me. Okay, you're going to email me at bill.whitty@montgomerycollege.edu, and as I reminded you before, I will check that you're actually in the course and then email you this course ID and reply to you at your email. That way I'll also have your email. Okay?
Next.
Okay, now if we click on Next, it's going to want to collect all your information, your name, and most importantly, your email address, okay, and various other things, school name, etc. But it definitely makes sure that you get that email address correct, because that's what I'm going to use to reply to you when you email me questions.
Next.
And then it'll give you a printable copy of a summary of your login name and password, and I suggest that you print that out and keep it somewhere and write your password. You see, it doesn't print out the password. Okay, just in case you forget it, because I can't tell you it if you lose it.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready.
Okay, now let's assume that you have enrolled in MyMathlab and you're ready to do your homework. Now, of course, I expect that you have watched the videos, whether you watched the full hour TV show or you watched the short subject videos, homework at a time videos. Okay, but let's assume that that has happened and you want to try and go do your first homework. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have you come back to the web page that we started at, www.coursecompass.com, and this time you're not going to have to register because you're already registered. You're going to click on Login under Students now. Login. And that will then bring you to this screen and ask you for your login name and password, which it had given to you when you enrolled. Okay, type that in. Yes. Click on Login, and it'll bring us to the main My Course Compass page. Now this page, you're not going to be here long, basically is a summary of the courses that you're taking in MyMathlab or Course Compass. Most people are only taking one, and they're listed on the left side here. This one only has one. You see the orientation demo course. which you're doing right now. Okay, in the middle of the screen are the general announcements that Course Compass makes, and those are really just commercials, and you really don't have to pay attention to that, to be frank. What you do have to pay attention to is my announcements, and let me show you where they're at. You'll click from here on the name of your course, which I guess will be, depends on what math course you're taking, but it'll be right there. You'll click on that, and it'll bring you to the screen. It looks something like this, and in the middle of the screen, nice and big, will be the announcements that I make, which are mostly dates of when tests have to be done by, or approximately done by. Okay, I call them target dates because I know the reason you're taking an online course is that you want flexible schedule. So as long as you're about near that time when you take the test at the assessment center, you'll be okay. You can't get too far behind or you won't finish the course, and I will not extend the course beyond the end of the semester. So be looking at those target dates. Okay, if for some reason they're not there, click on this button here and it'll bring up those announcements, if there are any. Okay? Now, another thing you're going to have to do the very first time you come in to do the homework is you're going to have to run this animal called the installation wizard. Okay, and basically what it's installing on your computer is a kind of a player that plays the homeworks, plays videos, plays your homework that you're actually doing is kind of a little show. Okay, and if you want to do homework on more than one computer, like at the office and at home, you'll have to run the installation wizard on both of those. Okay, so do that first, and then we're going to click on homework, and that'll be the way that we get to our homeworks. And it'll also be the way some of you will take tests online. Not most of you, but some of you, and that'll be where you get your tests as well. So clicking on this will bring me to a screen that looks like this here. Okay, now this is a list of the homeworks, and if you look up top you'll see it. The default is to only bring you to homeworks. If you click on show all, it'll show homeworks and tests. Okay, those of you that take tests online as well. Give you for instance, it looks the same, doesn't it? But if you look down here, you'll see there is, in fact, a test. Like, for instance, the Math 90 people take tests online at the assessment center, though, of course. Any test that counts is taking at the assessment center. Okay? Now, if you know what homework you're supposed to do, we're going to do them right in order. Click on whatever specific homework you want to do. Assuming you've watched that video now, you've learned how to do it. I expect you to do that first. And it'll bring you to a list of the homework exercises for that specific assignment. And then clicking on one of the homework exercises will bring me to, we've seen this screen before, that exercise and all the buttons available to do the homework. Okay, and that's where you'll begin.
What's all this jabber-wopping when there's work to be done?
Good luck.